Hi guys! Today I'm going to be talking about why I love fairy tale retellings. I discovered my passion for fairy tale retellings while I was at university, and I did a project on fairy tales, and I read absolutely masses of books, way more than I actually needed to for this one project, about fairy tales through the ages and the way they've been developed, and I discovered the wonderful world of fairy tale retellings. So the main reason that I love fairy tale retellings is that the original stories, if you actually go and read them, are really short. There's no characterization or setting really. They rely on archetypes. Therefore retellings are great because they get to expand on this. You can give the tales a proper setting, you can give the characters history and personality and all these things that they quite often just don't have in the original stories. There's so much potential for writers to fill in all the gaps and make the characters their own. The second reason that I love fairy tale retellings is fairy tales are kind of evil. They often have quite unfortunate messages like don't trust your female relatives and be really good, and then maybe one day the prince will marry you and you'll get to be rich and have a nice life. These messages might have made sense in a world where for a woman your only hope to improve your social status was by marrying up, but in today's world there are so many more opportunities available and these stories just don't work in the same way now. These messages seem quite depressing if you really think about them, and retellings give us an opportunity to subvert the less pleasant messages that the original fairy tales put across. You know, we can have women who decide that they don't actually want to go to the ball, that the prince is an idiot, that they're not going to sit around and wait for good things to come to them. They're going to go for them. The third reason is because fairy tales are fantasy. We can subvert reality and our own expectations. You can look at issues that affect characters in the real world through the lens of a fairy tale, and you can explore it sort of at a remove so that the issues become easier for the reader to relate to and to get on with. You know, if you pick up a book and you say, oh, this is about this really terrible issue, readers might get put off, but if the book is a retelling of a fairy tale, then it seems more familiar and less frightening. Fairy tales offer a great space for writers to explore issues and expose stereotypes. I'm going to list some of my favourite retellings for you really quickly. When I was doing my master's degree I read Spindle's End by McKinley. She's better known for Beauty, her retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but I didn't like that one so much. I actually preferred Spindle's End. It's a massive, epic of a book, it's huge, and it's about Sleeping Beauty, except that Sleeping Beauty doesn't grow up in the palace because a good fairy actually decides to abduct her for her own protection, and so she grows up with this fairy and there's this whole massive plot for control of the kingdom, and I loved it. Another book I read while I was doing my master's degree is Fire and Hemlock by Diana Wynne Jones, which uses the Tamlin myth as a basis, and it's about a girl who realises she has a double set of memories. It's that's kind of the frame story, and then you get into what actually are the real memories, it turns out, and her encounter with this really strange family. And it's really good because the main character's family life is quite difficult, and I felt myself really emotionally involved in her story. It really expanded what would have been quite a simple fairy tale into something that's very relatable and sad. Of course, I couldn't not mention The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter, which is a collection of short stories all based on fairy tales or elements of fairy tales. They're really fun and great and I love them. My favourite is Puss in Boots because it's just amazing. It's from the point of view of the cat and I love it. Ash by Malinda Lo, which is a queer retelling of Cinderella. It's set in a fantasy world which has its own culture, and the stepmother and stepsisters are really well developed, and I really enjoyed it. And then last but not least, Valiant by Holly Black, which is my favourite retelling of Beauty and the Beast of all time, because it does not involve Stockholm Syndrome, which is a major factor of every Beauty and the Beast retelling ever, except for this one, it seems. Beauty and the Beast used to be my favourite fairy tale, and then as I got older I kind of was like, but the Beast is so horrible to her. How would this go? I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think about fairy tale retellings, and if you have any favourites you would like to recommend. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Bookish Brits if you haven't already, and you'll see me in a couple of weeks. Bye!